Hello everyone, and welcome to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about finding joy in everyday life. As a homemaker, sometimes we may feel burdened down and weary with all the chores we have to do. Being able to stay home is a blessing to me because that means I can focus on my family, on my home, on my animals, and creating an atmosphere that everyone wants to be in. An atmosphere that's peaceful, welcoming, and full of love and joy. As a homemaker, it's my responsibility to be a good steward of my time. There are days that I find myself sitting down and playing on my phone or being on the computer and being very idle. But the Bible tells us not to be idle. Proverbs 31:27 says, "She looks well to the ways of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness." I remind myself this daily to try to keep busy and do things that are fruitful in my life. In today's world, when everything is hectic and busy, my home is my safe haven. It's where I find rest for my weary soul, peace, and joy. It's a place that my husband can come home to every day after a hard day's work and find relaxation, and he can rejuvenate himself so that he can go off again the next day to provide for our family. It's a place where my children play and learn and feel loved and comfort. Sometimes I do feel overwhelmed with the many responsibilities I have here at home, but I have to shift my mindset and I have to be thankful to the Lord for all the blessings He has given me. Sometimes I have days where, yes, even I have a pity party about all the monotonous things I have to do every day. And I try to remind myself to not have that kind of an attitude, because what kind of an example am I being for my two daughters? I want my daughters to be able to grow up, and if they want to be a homemaker, to enjoy being at home, curating a happy place for their families. So I am reminded to have a right spirit about me when I am doing my chores. One thing I love to do to make my house feel like a happy space is to diffuse essential oils. I love the invigorating smells of peppermint and lavender, and it just makes me feel happy when I'm doing my chores and having a refreshing scent about me. Today I am going to be making homemade butter. I have been blessed to find a lady that lives right around the corner from me that sells raw milk. And I bought some cream from her, and so today I'm going to make some homemade butter. Sometimes when we are so busy running around outside the home, we forget what it's like to be content in our home. It's a beautiful spring day, and while I sit on my swing, I am looking at all the trees blossoming, my cow laying down, my dogs being happy in the yard, and my ducks waddling around in the pasture. It brings great joy to my heart. It was getting late in the day and I needed to speed up my butter making, so I threw it in my blender to finish it off. Now I'm just going to scrape all the butter out and try to rinse out as much of the milk as I possibly can before I place it in my refrigerator. I'm just going to be pouring the leftover buttermilk into this jar, and I will use this as creamer for my coffee. Getting outside and doing physical work is good for the body, mind, and soul. Being in the sunshine, getting that natural vitamin D, touching the dirt, and just breathing in the fresh air is a wonderful way to lift your spirits, to get some exercise, and it's just great for your overall health. Here I am, filling my pots with some dirt. I've decided this year to plant some herbs so that I could dehydrate them and have dried herbs for not just cooking but for medicinal purposes also. My girls bought me this little lavender plant, so I'm going to be planting this in one pot. And then they also bought a catnip plant, I think mainly so that our cats can go crazy over it. But I'll plant that in another pot, and then I will plant my other lavender and rosemary seeds in the other pot. Being a homemaker doesn't mean we just stay inside the home and create an atmosphere, but also we can create a beautiful setting outside our home also. Proverbs 31, starting at verse 10. Who can find a virtuous woman, for her price is far above rubies? The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good, and not evil, all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships, she bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maidens. She considereth a field, and buyeth it, and with the fruit of her hands she planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good, her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry, her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, and delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She openeth her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children arise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excellest them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. I hope you found this video encouraging, and I pray that the Lord blesses